Talk, and I'm so excited that you are joining me via the app, on Facebook. Hey everybody on YouTube. Hey, how are you doing? Thank you so much for tuning in today for this great topic on online dating do's and don'ts.
Mercy.
And I just want to shout out my Girl Talk squad for today. Whoop, whoop. Thank you so much, ladies, for joining me in the studio. I have Tiffany here right beside me. I have Nadine over here. I have France over here. And I have Miss Marquise on the phone. Okay. I was going to say, Keisha, you still there?
She's still there.
And so I have a full squad today, and we are about to turn it up in here to talk about our experience on online dating. But before I go there, I do want to give the callers my number so that you can chime in as well, okay? Because I want to hear your experience about, online dating and what you've done and how it has worked for you. So definitely use the number when you need to. The number is 888-BRIGHT, BRITE 86. Again, the number is 888-BRIGHT, BRITE 86. And use that number whenever you need to. If you're on Facebook, you already know the deal. You can just chime in whenever you want to. We will get to your comments. We can't get to all of them, but we definitely will read some of them. So in the news this week, if you all been following with the craziness that's going on with this political, I don't even know what to call it,
Right.
trash, a straight mess. And so with, what's Trump's wife name? Melania. Okay, there we go.
That is so wrong. You just butchered her name.
I'm saying it's too close to the Obama kids. And so, with her speechwriter, who I say just set her up, period.
Yeah.
That was a total setup.
I agree.
And I guess that she resigned. Is it? Did y'all hear that? That she resigned?
Well, I heard that she wanted to, but they said they weren't going to fire her.
Really? So she's still on?
That's what I read. I mean, that was the last I read on it.
Okay.
I don't know any updates.
So yeah, so I was like, this girl. I mean, I didn't watch it, but of course you see all the funny jokes on Facebook, on social media about how she has just, taken over. I mean, and this speech was verbatim in the same order,
Right.
and I was just like, wow, wow. But I kind of felt bad for her. Because so many people was bashing her. I was like, dang, I did feel bad, but it's still funny.
Right.
I just felt bad for her. And I was listening to another station. They were saying that the DJ was saying, he was like, well, if that was my wife, how would I feel if that was my wife? And I was like, Dad, when he said that, I was like, I could see it in that perspective.
But you can check your wife before she...
Hopefully.
Right?
So
But
she don't want to do something crazy like that.
But what I heard also was that she told some interviewer that she wrote it.
really?
Yeah. So now it's like, did you write it or did you not write it? So can't really feel bad for her.
Somebody had this post. This guy, a friend of mine, he's just going all in, and I'm just been cracking up. He had the post of, he said the writers for her speech was Millie. And I could not stop. I was just dying. I was like, oh no. Plagiarism, they calling on her, and she's a fake, a phony, and so let's just jump right into this whole topic of dating, because sometimes this whole online dating thing can be fake and phony. Some people put up these pictures of somebody else, of their friends, and they just try to have this persona that there's somebody else. So let's talk about it. So online dating, what is your Kesey? I'm gonna start with you. Tell us, just you said no. Come on, Kesey. Okay, so I'll start with Tiffany.
Okay.
Just tell us, what is your... Were you skeptical? of online dating before you started it? Was it something new
So
to you? What?
I wouldn't even call it like dating.
Okay.
Personally, but you know, I've been like chatting with people online since like MySpace.
Oh,
you know, like
a minute ago, I used to use Black Planet.
Yeah, you know, so it's not anything new.
Mm-hmm.
And so to me, it's not really anything new. Other than that, I guess from my experience, like you can meet a lot of cool people. You know, I don't take it too seriously though, honestly.
So are you on there to find someone, or are you just on there just to socialize?
Well, okay, so, you know, I stopped using like, you know, online dating sites for a long time. You know, I was just single, you know, getting in touch with me and, you know, just chilling, yeah. So, then my friend, this was probably like, let me see, maybe early 2015 or late 2014, she was like, oh, well, I'm about to set you up on this app. I was doing her hair. She just starts finding my pictures off of Facebook and set me up on this app and everything. She's like, you need to try it. You don't go out. You don't date. And so, like, I was like, all right, fine. I'll try it. Mm-hmm. But, you know, like, I'm still single here, you know, 2016. So that's why I'm saying, like, honestly, I don't take online dating as serious. But one thing I would say is I think that if men are paying for the sites, they might be a little bit more serious than the guys who are just on there, you know, yeah.
Hi.
Right.
How are you doing?
Or the little, you know, right. Or you get like the messages that they copy and paste and send to like, you can tell it's like copied and pasted. Mm-hmm. They send it all over to a whole bunch of women.
Oh wow, that's pretty trifling.
Yeah, but that's
copy and paste a message.
Well,
like,
sometimes it can be generic. I mean, if most people are hitting you back to back, I mean, I know for me, like when I got on. I'm not gonna mention the website, but I got on the website.
I want to know.
I can't. Look, I'm not doing free advertising for this. They're not paying me, so I'm not doing free advertising. But I remember I signed up that night, and my email blew up. I mean, boom, boom, boom. So like, it's like midnight. I'm here trying to respond to everybody. It started out as free.
Okay.
But I'm responding to everybody, and then I'm just like one eye open, trying to stay awake, and I'm like, did I just send that message over to someone? Because now I'm getting confused with the conversation. So yeah, you might have to do some copying and pasting, but still, you're being honest. You're being honest.
After the show, you're gonna have to let me know what site that was.
Okay, I need to know.
My inbox was not flowing like that.
I'm just like, I mean, beautiful man, but I just couldn't keep up. It was just like, this is not.
Dang girl.
A beautiful man is, yeah.
So you would take this message and basically it's a generic message that you typed, right?
That I type,
but you used over and over again.
To some degree, like you do want to make it somewhat personal, so
right.
they're like, "Oh, she did read my page." You know, you throw out, you know, at least read the profile for crying out loud. Read the profile, and you pinpoint what you find interesting about them, and then you just move it around. But it's still your own words.
Right.
I can understand. I understand that. Yeah.
That sounds like a lot of work. Because if you have so many dudes hitting you up. Mm-hmm. And you have to try to go to all of their profiles, to read their profiles, to find out a little bit of information about them. I would be overwhelmed.
But the thing to help out, just like how you have an employer who's looking for employees, they're going to put down their basic requirements. Okay, this is what we require. We require you to have a bachelor's degree. We require you to have a particular certification. And then your preferences might be, well, maybe if you speak bilingual or something. So same thing when it comes to me. I'm putting up, okay, I need, X, Y, and Z, somebody who doesn't smoke or don't drink. And then certain things I might not disclose at the time, but if you're a little more specific, you might only get, you might weed out the ones that don't belong there, but you still get some who think they qualify. But
who's gonna push that?
But then you do have to. It can get tiring. So take a break.
Right.
Come back.
Right. Go to sleep.
So France, go ahead.
I don't even know where to start. What was the first question you asked? So I can just
go from there. So basically, I know I asked Tiffany, did you sign up for the site just to socialize or to seriously meet someone to,
Okay.
date, marry.
Okay, I got you. Okay, when I signed up to meet someone.
Okay.
And it just, what I found is that their photos were not current. What the description that they wrote about themselves really wasn't a good description. Because let's face it, you're going to try to make yourself,
Look good as possible.
look good. And, I'll just give you one example. A guy, I met him at a restaurant, and I walked right by him because he didn't look like his picture. And I called, and I was like, well, where are you? And he's like, I'm right here. And he knew that he didn't look like his picture, and I think he got embarrassed by that since I couldn't find him. And he kept, it's kind of like he was
Like,
on a
how
little goose
different?
chase.
Like,
Yeah.
was the picture like 10 years old?
The picture must have been 10 years old, and I didn't realize that. It didn't look like a 10-year-old picture. So finally I found him, and, weight isn't a thing, right? But he was 100 over what his original picture looked like, and that's why I didn't know that that was him.
And how did he explain that?
He didn't explain it because we didn't talk about it. So I kind of just sat there and was smiling. Yeah, because it wasn't that. Like I said, it wasn't about the weight, but I felt he deceived me.
Yeah.
And he still
I
look
didn't know
good?
that was. He was handsome, but I didn't like the fact that he was
Right,
early on. So yes, we did go on a couple of dates after that, and I was willing to look past it. And we had our fourth date. He invited me to church, and I couldn't make it because I couldn't find a babysitter for my son. And he blasted me with a text going off, saying that he told his mom about me, his pastor about me.
On a fourth date? Wait a minute.
That's what I'm saying.
Okay, wait a minute. So the fourth day, how long? How
I
time
would say
frame?
a month and a half.
A month and a half. So
Yes.
he didn't told his mama, his pastor.
Yes.
He didn't told his
Yes.
neighbor, his dog.
Yes. Now we've been chatting on the site for like a month before we met up.
Okay.
Physically face to face.
So 2 months in total.
Yeah.
3 months
And
maybe.
So when he went off, I was like, whoa, okay, I'm done. So.
So how did you respond to that text message?
I responded and said, wow, I'm sorry you feel that way. You are right. I'm not the one for you. God bless you in your search.
I like
left
that.
it at that.
Good for you.
So
And that's why you don't tell them where you live.
That is
You take
yes.
separate cars.
Yes.
So when you're not picking me up because you're not going to where I live. You barely even know definitely not my address and definitely not my car, my license, because of stuff like that.
Right.
You know?
I'll catch the metro.
Because we're taking separate cars. We are taking separate
Right.
cars. And definitely if I'm going out, at least one of my friends will know their name, a picture of them, their phone number, where we're going, and then I might take a snapshot of your license. I have done that.
I've done that before.
You have to. The world that we live in.
Yeah.
Even if you meet somebody online or in person, you just cannot. You gotta be cautious.
Yeah.
You gotta be cautious.
Because this is the thing, a lot of people think that online dating is totally different from meeting someone in person. Yeah, they have their differences, but they also have a lot of similarities. Because the benefit of online dating is that you have those profiles where you can read through. If they're truthful, you can read through those things and find out a lot of information. You're just meeting somebody off the street. You can't find out that information right away. It's just you find out you see how they look, you find out their name, get their exchange numbers or whatever. And I think in today's dating world, a lot of stuff goes so quick. People just want to move so fast. And, it's like, okay, well, we met yesterday, let's go on the first date tomorrow, and let's get in the bed the next day. And so I'm just like, yo, slow down. How about we talk on the phone first? If we're meeting face to face, how about we talk on the phone first for a little bit? Let's get to know each other. Let's see if we even want to go on this first date.
Exactly.
Because I don't want you to waste your money. I'm not trying to use you for your money. I'm not trying to spend my money on you either. So let's get to a point to see if we are willing to, go on a date.
It's about having fun, to be honest. When I signed up, eventually I said, the guys didn't want to go out. So I said, fine. In 1 week, 3 different dates, 3 different restaurants, and listen, I had a ball.
I've been there.
Listen,
I've been there.
I had fun, but go home, get dressed after work, then go out. I was tired. From it. My sister was like, well, just enjoy the free food. And I did. I did offer to pay. But I'm saying it was, if they turn out not to be the one, you just had a good time.
Yeah, right.
And it helps you to learn how to communicate.
Right. Right.
So
That was another thing for me. Like, if I, initially the first time meeting, I don't expect you to pay. Like, meeting somebody offline, it's like, okay, we were chatting, we decided to meet. I'm good just meeting you.
And it's not a date,
right.
okay.
It's just like a meet and greet.
Yeah, we're just hanging out. I'm
Yeah.
here, you're here. Let's
Right.
just hang out. Yeah.
So, but afterwards, if you initiate more, then okay, we can pay.
I said that was wrong for me.
No, I'm not saying that. No, not at all.
I did offer. I did.
Right.
So did you eventually pay, or he said
no? One guy was like, no. I was like, okay, you could pay. So I mean, sometimes they might get offended, but you always want to bring your own with you, just in case.
Yeah,
You're the
of
one
course.
guy that says, oh no, actually, you're gonna pay. So you always want to make sure you have your own.
Of course. So Casey, let's hear from you. Are you skeptical about dating sites? What made you go on? Tell us a little bit more. Mm-hmm. So you basically got the inside scoop on this guy. Yeah. Vouch, yes, and I feel you on that because I need to know who I'm getting involved with. Even if we don't go on a date or anything like that, I just need to know some background information.
Right.
And yeah. Now, how do y'all feel about?
I was gonna say.
Go ahead.
Because you don't know them, it is hard to do your research, but. I mean, with the technology now, you can put in your name, and I could find out where you used to live, your family member.
Yes.
I mean, this guy didn't meet, not online, but I did meet him. Great looking man, mercy. And I asked him his age. He told me his age, and I was like, okay, I won't mention who, but I decided to do some research. Let's look up his name. And I looked up his name, but I couldn't find him. But I know he mentioned that sometimes he goes by like his mother's last name.
Okay.
So I found him that way, and come to find out he's actually 10 years older.
Oh.
Than,
What he said he was?
yes, but he didn't look like it. He didn't look like it. So man look beautiful for his age. But I'm saying you still want to do your research.
Right, and that's where I was going, because how do you all feel about, for me, I know that I'm going to research. I'm going to look up every piece of information that I can find out, your full name, and like you said, stuff begins to pop. Google has all the answers. And stuff. I don't know if guys do this. Brian, do guys do this? Well, I mean, you're married, but
I had a guy tell me that he Googled me.
Really?
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, because I think that's important to find out. I need to know more.
He might be on the wanted list. I mean, you just,
exactly. He may be on a wanted list. He may be married. And you have that experience
in
from
person though. Yeah, I didn't know he was married, and one day I saw him again, and he had his ring on, and then he's like trying to figure
he's trying to. Oh,
I was like, got to be kidding me.
Yeah, so I mean, I need to Google everybody, and like Kesey was saying, in terms of on Facebook, I'm going to go through your Facebook page. I'm going to go through your friends' Facebook pages. I'm just gonna research different stuff just because
there's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, but the thing nowadays that's hard is that for me, if I look through his Facebook page, I'm looking to see what women are typing or commenting on his posts. But then, like in this day and age, everyone's giving compliments or flirting. It's so hard to a woman could say, "Hey, boo, you look cute." Is that really her boo?
And it doesn't mean. It doesn't mean.
Like, so it's like it's kind of hard to do that detective work on somebody's Facebook page.
Go ahead, Brian. You look like you want to say
No, well, you brought up men, and you asked a man here in the room to chime in. So no, I don't think men are Googling you. Nor are they checking your Facebook page unless they have gotten deep in. Now, if they're checking your Facebook page, then you know that they got things. They're pretty deep in, and they're checking on you, see what's really going on. Are you seeing somebody else? You doing something? But initially, you look good, you're attracted to them. That's enough.
That's all it is.
They ain't trying to find nothing else out because they're like, please, Lord, don't let it be anything else. And the likelihood that you'll find something on a woman on Google is a whole lot less than you would on that man. If he's got a record, you're going to find that. But so men aren't checking for that. But ladies, you might want to do that, because there might be something in his checkered past. There may not be, but I can see why you might want to do that. But for guys, you look good, that's enough. And you're interested in them, that's enough. Now, when y'all say, all right, we ready to become serious, they go,
look at
looking at who are these other guys? Who's that? Okay, we have to talk about that. So that's why you know that he's really invested.
Okay.
That's my opinion.
That's nice.
Okay.
Of course, we didn't have Facebook when I started dating, so.
Is that why he told me to unfriend this guy? Okay, I get
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
So a guy told you to unfriend another guy?
Yes.
Why?
Because
Did he
didn't
feel
like the comments on my page. Yeah.
Were you guys deep in?
We were early in.
No, then it's no.
And then when you say early and
I would say 3 months.
Oh yeah, tell me that.
So
At that point, 3 months in for a guy, he's checking.
yes, exactly. He was checking my comments. Yes, he was. Exactly what you said.
and so how did you? Was it easy for you to?
I was just like, why? And he told me, he likes you. No, he's my friend. No, I can tell. I'm a man. I can tell by the way he's commenting. I'm like, no, you can't. And I did end up, the France now wouldn't do it, but back then, this was about 2.5 years ago, I did unfriend the person. And I was like, after we broke up, I'm like, why did I do that? And then I friend requested it back. I'm like, I didn't explain what happened, but yeah. So.
Wow. So has that ever happened to any of you? Have you all ever had to, has a guy ever requested that you all ditch your friend, a male friend, just for...
No, I don't give people my social medias.
Really?
No.
Okay.
I understand that, but if he's telling you that, it's like, what? I mean, we're not even together. I mean, 3 months in, but it's like, if you're not control like that, but if you're gonna tell me to do that at that point, then what else are you gonna control?
Right. Right, and it got worse, which is why I'm single.
and like, I put a lot of personal things on my Facebook page. So if I just met you, or I don't even know how serious this is gonna be. I don't want you in my personal things. I just don't.
Well, my Facebook page, all my social media, everything is public. Because I'm just like,
you're a public figure.
everything is out there. Hey, whatever you research, you're gonna find. Questions, ask me, I'll let you know. So yeah, everything is just out there. Because I'm like, okay, well, if you're interested in me, you can come by my page and you can shoot me a message in the DM and whatever. But I'll let you know if I'm interested or not.
And
So
then
that's,
when you do let them know you're not interested, what's their response?
so the conversation, so when I get those messages, they'll send me a message, saying hi or how you doing or whatever, and I'll keep it short. I'm not just going to jump out there and be like, I'm not interested. I'll keep it extremely short. So if they say, question, how are you doing?
Fine.
Exactly. I'm fine. Thank you for asking.
Yes.
And I don't respond saying, how are you doing? Because I'm not interested
You don't
in
want
starting
to
a conversation. Because I've been there before. Kesey, we was at your birthday party when the guy when this guy, he was over at the bar area, we were sitting in the lounge area, and I'm just trying to be nice to this guy, and he keeps looking at me. And I made the wrong move. I smiled at him.
Oh, mercy. Not the smile. Not the smile.
That's like an open window.
Yes.
Yes.
I said, my gosh, yes. And so I was like, my goodness, he's coming over here. Oh my goodness.
You're like 5, 4, 3, 2, here he is.
How are you doing? He's like, can I sit here? I was like, sure. And I engaged him in conversation because I didn't just want to say, right, exactly. I'm not rude no more. I used to be, but so I just engaged him in conversation. Y'all, let me tell y'all this story. This story is funny. I engaged this guy in conversation, right? And we were talking for maybe about, I want to say at least 40 minutes, maybe an hour. I'm not exactly sure. We were talking for a long time, okay? And he did tell me that he was at the restaurant. He was supposed to meet a girl there. And I was like, okay, she your girlfriend? He was like, no, we just hang out a lot and everything like that. And I was like, okay, so y'all just hang out. So if she were to walk in right now and see you talking to me, would that be okay with her? He was like, yeah, because we just cool like that. It'll be okay with her. So we continue to talk.
Dun, dun, dun.
Right. Listen. This dude, honey, give me your hand. This dude, he grabbed my hand and he comes in. He comes into me.
He set you up.
And I'm like, I'm backing up a little bit, but I can't back up too far. And in walks the girl. Ooh. Why? He's holding my hand.
Ooh.
Not a good look.
And okay, she comes from behind him, so he can't see her. I can see her. And she just stands there. The look on her face is just saying, "Who the is this?" Good thing she wasn't rapping, because we was rolling deep that night.
Christian radio show.
And so when he noticed that she was standing there, because I was looking at her before he noticed that she was there, and he slowly turns around, he lets my hand go, and I just start laughing. I'm like,
She's not gonna mind now?
and she's looking at him like, what's going on? And I was like, so I have learned to not give those signals to let guys, if I'm not interested in you,
Keep it short.
then keep it short.
I was going to say 45 minutes is letting him know a whole lot of
Yes.
stuff.
Listen, I was
45
there.
minutes for a guy is like, that's
It's
a
that's
lifetime.
eternity. You messed up.
I was there. I decided to engage him in conversation because I was like, okay, we just here chilling, having a good time. This conversation is not going to leave this restaurant. So I had no intentions of giving him my number, nothing.
He didn't know that?
Yes, he did, because I told him.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he knew.
Yeah.
I was like,
But you gave him 45 minutes. And so at some point, at 43, he's thinking, I'm going to get this number.
Correct.
At some point, He's thinking you told him at minute 1.
Yeah.
Right.
But at minute 35, he's going.
And you might change your mind.
No, I already knew I wasn't
But
going to change my mind.
he doesn't know that. He's
right.
thinking
But
36,
this is the thing.
37. He's still talking.
He's strategizing. He's strategizing.
But this
My
is the
girl
thing.
ain't here yet.
But this is the thing. See, I kept letting him know that I'm not interested in having this conversation leave this restaurant, and I kept reiterating that. I was like, I'm not, because this is my thing. I'm not going to lead a guy on. I'm either interested in you or I'm not, and that's just that. I know this one. The latest guy that tried to holler at me via Facebook. He was using these humongous words that I didn't even know. I had to go to. I was like, wait a minute, what did he say? Let me go to Google right fast. And so I tagged my friend on the post. I'm like, what does this word mean? The word was like 26 letters. I was like, what is he saying? And so he had commented on my picture, and sure, he was like, the picture was beautiful, but in his own vernacular.
Right.
And I was like, okay, thank you. Let me go get my dictionary. That's what I said on the post. I said, let me go get my dictionary. He was like, you're smart enough to know what it means. I was like, thank God for Google. And so then he inboxed me, and I was like, oh no.
Oh God.
Oh goodness. And so he inboxed me about my book. He tried to be slick. He was like, where can I get your book from? And I was like, Amazon.com.
He wanted to know that he's doing
And-
research. He's
Right.
Right.
Right. And I'm like, okay. That's what
Check
you
his
know.
point.
He know I got a book because I never mentioned the book. So I guess he was looking on my page. And so, right. And so I was like, you get on Amazon.com. And then he followed back up, was like, how are you doing? I was like, I'm doing good. And left it at that. And he never contacted me again.
He probably felt it.
Yeah, he knew. Yeah, he knew.
But that's one thing about online dating is like if somebody messages you and you look at it, you read their profile, you're not really feeling it, you don't have to respond.
Mhm.
Right? And it's just like
You don't feel bad.
Right. It's like
Right, you
whatever.
don't. Yeah. Yeah. So, did y'all ever think that you would? I like online for a few reasons. Some reasons I don't like because it can be time consuming in terms of like you were saying that we get all these messages and you have the message.
I'm confused.
Okay.
And when we
No, that was, I had fun. I really had
No,
fun.
I've done that.
Different food. It was great. But I mean, I joined it because I don't get out as much, and I'm trying to be, more proactive and get out at least once a month.
Yeah.
But I mean, besides church, which you don't have a lot of guys at our church, and if I go to the gym, I meet guys at the gym, but no. So I don't get out much. I was like, listen, it's another way to meet guys. So that's the reason why I joined.
You can screen them too.
But you can screen them. Yes,
You can screen them.
Yes, you can.
You don't have to give your number out
Right,
immediately.
right.
You know, you can just message, have the conversation, see if you feel them or not.
Yeah. Yeah, and so with that, where do you go from that in terms of, you see a guy that you're interested in. Do you make the first move to let him know that you're interested in him? What do you do? Because it's different. Let's say that you're out, you're out, and you see this guy that you're interested in. You can easily keep looking at him to let him know you're interested.
Smile.
You don't have to say, right, exactly. But with online, you can't do that. You can't smile at, you can use the wink button or whatever,
Some little flirt.
but, right, a little flirt, but so how do you go about that?
Well,
That's so annoying.
They just poking me.
That poke is so annoying. French, you wanted to?
but yeah, no, I agree with what she was saying. For me, online dating, I would never reach out to a man first. That's just not me.
Okay.
But Facebook and other social media avenues, I would just, like what she said, like something or comment, but you gotta pace yourself. You can't hit like every single thing or comment on every single thing and stalk his page. But there's definitely a way of letting a guy know you're interested online on social media. Like you just engage with them.
And not only the like, but the time, like if it's 12, 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock in the morning, it's like he might think, well, what is she doing? Like she doesn't sleep. So I question that sometimes when I see a guy. Like I've seen guys who like pictures that date back to 10 years. I'm like, so it's you want to be mindful.
Going through your
like
whole
I'm like, what the
10
heck?
years ago.
Yeah, and 3 o'clock in the morning, like you don't want to sleep. So
Right, exactly.
I'll tell you what, if a guy sees you responding to his posts on
At 2 in the
Facebook
morning.
at 2 in the morning, you best believe you'll get a call.
oh, absolutely.
Some night at 2 o'clock in the morning. Maybe not that night, but some night, because he knows you're up and you're probably thinking about him.
Right.
So he's gonna try. 2 o'clock. Let me see. That's dangerous. I mean, how you respond.
Right.
Like you're saying engage. You're saying engage. And that's how you let him know that you're interested. You might be sending the wrong message at what times you're interested.
Right.
Yeah, at what time you start posting or respond to posts or what you post.
I don't know. It's tricky now because people are always on social media all the time. Like people don't even sleep fully.
They're laying in their beds.
They're laying in the bed with their phone. So when they wake up to go to the bathroom, they're checking their social media and posting. And so when I get up in the morning, right, because I don't normally post on social media throughout the night unless I'm up doing something. When I get up in the morning, let's say I get up at 7 o'clock and I see somebody posted something 2 hours ago. I'm like, 2 hours ago was. Like, what you doing? Sleep? Go to bed. Or post something 4 hours. I'm like, these people don't sleep. What are you doing? Like, how in the world are you responding all the time?
Right.
So, I don't know if that message in terms of, I guess, Ron is like, listen, a guy is always on alert after hours. So, I don't know,
After hours.
So I don't know if that message would necessarily apply because people are just always on social media all the time. Now I can see where, you set those boundaries to say that maybe we're not going to talk on the phone at a certain time. But with life being so busy, it's right. It's like when you can, when you're available, when he's available. And it's not necessarily to say that trying to do a booty call or anything like that, because if I'm, working a 12-hour shift and I don't have time, he's working a 12, 14-hour shift, the earliest we probably get on the phone is midnight. Now I'm not recommending that for some people who may not be able to, practice self-control. But you have to know yourself. You have to know yourself, I would say. You really got to know yourself in terms of, hey, if the sun goes down, your mind goes down too. You begin to, we ain't dropping the drawers just because the sun went down. So, so you just got to be,
This
got to
is
be
a prime
mindful.
time show. 7 o'clock, yes.
You just got to be mindful of you.
Right.
That's a good point.
So,
Touching on what you were saying about messaging someone first. So I've been off and on like dating sites for a while now, since my friend put me on and was like, "Oh, yeah, try it, girl." So like I said, I honestly at this point I don't really take it that seriously. I just use it as a way to meet people. So I personally don't mind saying, "Hey, how are you? I read such and such," or give them a compliment if they're attractive. I don't mind because I'm just meeting people at this point. I'm not really like
you're not looking.
Yeah.
And so it's more of a social thing to meet people, to get out, to just have fun.
Yeah.
For me, the in-person, it's hard for me to interact or initiate the conversation because I know if I'm interested in a guy, my hand gets if I'm really interested in a guy.
Yeah.
I mean, if he's watching me walk, my legs start to cross up, or
Don't fall.
I start to stutter. My hand, palms start to get nervous. I can't, complete sentences go out the window. I remember this one guy. He was won't mention, but he went to give me a compliment. He's like, "Yeah, I heard you saying really well," and I was like, my response to him was like, "I meditate." What the world? Like, it had nothing to do with nothing. Like, my response was just so off the wall. And
I
he
thought
just
that
kind
only
of
happened on TV.
No, and he just kind of looked at me with like a puzzle look and kind of walked away. So I mean, literally my palms. It's just really embarrassing. So for me, the online part
It's
really
comfortable.
kinda, yes.
Right.
It ease that tension,
Right,
that,
ease the tension.
the anxiety that you
Right.
have.
I am getting better.
And I agree. For me, I think online does allow you to be more relaxed.
Yes.
And approach it in a different way opposed to in person. Yeah, you've ever noticed people will post on Facebook and they'll say something like, okay, I got all these friends online, but when I meet y'all in person, y'all ain't got much to say. And so, because people are more vocal, I guess, online because it offers, again, a sense of relaxation, a barrier that they can hide behind, so to speak.
Right.
Now, I'm like you, like it's getting better. Like if I'm interested in you and I'm around you, yes, I'm just nervous, just sweaty palms, just sweaty everything. And I'm
Stuttering.
like, and so I feel you on that. But I'm teaching myself, say, just calm down, just chill out. It'll be okay.
Right.
We'll get past this anxious stage, and so yeah. So how long do you think you should talk to a person online before taking it offline?
I think it depends. I think it depends on how often you're communicating and your level of comfort. And so it's like if you're only speaking to the guy like once a week, then that's going to take longer for you to meet in person. But if you're talking to him every day, even if it's for like 10 minutes, you know what I mean? I think that, for me, it's not that I have an average, but I have tried at least 6 or 7 different dating sites, so I have experience. I again, like I said, we're talking often. I would meet usually maybe within the 3 to 4 weeks, and that's just the initial meet and greet. For me, that's, do you look like your picture? Are you who you're posting? Who you're posting under? And but I know everyone has different levels of comfort. So for some people, they want to wait 2 months. Some people have a specific number, 3 months. That's fine. But me, especially if things are flowing, I want to know right away. Let me see what you look like. Do you really look? Because people are catfishing people.
Okay.
So.
Shadow, what? Hold on, that's new for me too.
Catfish? You never heard that term?
Oh, I'm sorry.
Okay, so basically you getting got,
Right.
and that's basically what it is.
It's somebody else.
Oh, okay.
That's not
Right.
who you thought it was.
Right.
Wow.
Yes, it's a whole show about it. Yes, you got YouTube it and yeah. So basically, you getting bamboozled, getting got.
I think that actually might have happened too because I know. How you have the real websites and then like you should do your research. I signed up for this website and it was not legit. So my pictures float around somewhere on some. So like you really have to even do your research about that website. Because I was off by one word and it was the real one. I didn't sign up for the real one. So even if it's paid for or not paying for it, you still need to be cautious when you sign up for these websites and what information you are getting.
Yeah,
Right.
that's really important. You got to do your research. So
Yes.
you were saying, Kesey, in terms of for you, is there a particular time frame that you stick to before you meet, or the relationship that you're in? Like how were you able to take it offline? Right. Oh, I have a friend that wants to know about. Okay. And I'm gonna just go back to the whole point. You know, you were saying in terms of, you know, with those mutual friends and asking them, what were some of the questions that you asked? Did you feel uncomfortable? Did you feel like maybe if he found out he would be upset? How did you feel about that? About you asking around about him? Yeah. And for me, like I said earlier in the show, that's really important because I need to be able to just have information. I'm a researcher at heart, and I just need to have information. And sometimes you can find out too much information,
But that's
okay. which can turn you off. Yes. Okay, and then make you a little bit more skeptical. Like, okay, well, you know, you said this, but I see something else. So tell me what's really going on.
But that's good because then you're not wasting your time. Like, I mean, for me, you know, one of the dates I went on, you know, we went out, he had fun, it was great, and then it kind of just fell off. And he kind of texted me back later on. I was like, hey, what happened? I was like, well, I figured you probably didn't want to talk to me much anymore. He's like, yeah, you know, the date went well. You're beautiful. I mean, I had fun with you, and he actually wanted to go on another date. But then the big question that they always ask me, and that seems to turn off like all the men, is, you know, he wanted to get some, and I wasn't putting out, and because of that, it just like cut short. So, you know, it would go well, but then once, and I'm going to be honest, you know, it might be too much information, but if you ask me a question, I'm going to be honest with you.
Yeah.
And so, you know, that it seemed to not work in my favor once they got that answer and kind of.
And let me just encourage you right fast, because that's okay.
Right.
You know, because you have to be able to stick to your boundaries and stick to your morals, your values, and what you want in a relationship. Because this is the thing, you know, women think that, okay, well, if I don't give up, you know, the sex, then he's going to leave. Well, okay, he can go, you know, and we have to be okay with that.
One guy told me, this wasn't an online date, but one guy told me, I was like, hey, when we go out, why don't we just go for a walk? I'm not materialistic. I don't care for, you know, these big fancy restaurants. You know, I didn't enjoy myself at those 3 restaurants, but still, I'm not into that. So I was like, hey, can we just go for a walk down by the lake or something? He's like, well, we're not having sex, so we can't go out in public. I said, what?
Wow.
I was like, you're kidding me. So, I mean, I was like, all right.
So, question. Were y'all already out, or y'all was on the phone?
We were on the phone, things like that, and this I got the chance.
So how soon did that conversation end? Because I think I would have been like, okay, bye.
No, I got a chance to meet him, not online. This is someone I met at the gym, and we eventually, you know, started to converse a little bit more, and he did come over. But in his mind, he was just thinking back, that was probably the wrong thing for him to come over. Nothing happened, but it's just, in his mind, it was like, his goal, his objective was to
have sex.
Right.
Yeah.
And it wasn't working, and eventually he was getting frustrated. But that was his reason. Like, listen, we're not having sex, so I can't take you out in public. And I was like, no problem.
I cannot take
I've never heard anything like that.
Yes.
Wow.
I cannot take you
That's
out in
the
public because we're not having sex.
No problem. Keep moving.
I mean,
keep
you
it
know
moving.
what? I did have a guy, met him online, and he, I don't know how we got into the conversation, but I always let the man bring that conversation up in terms of, you know, your sex life and stuff. And I remember, you know, I was like, you know, I'm abstaining, you know, and I appreciate the fact that he was so straight up and he's like, you know what, France, you're a nice girl, you're a beautiful girl, but I'm sorry. He's like, I gotta get me some. He's like, I can't. And I was like, you know what? Thank you for being honest.
Yeah,
And we were cool, and then that was it. He never called me again, and I was fine with that. But I think that was a tasteful. Well, it wasn't too tasteful the way he said
right.
it, but I appreciate the way that he did.
The fact that he came out and said that.
Yes, that he came out.
Opposed to someone that's just trying to woo you on secretly.
Right.
After you tell them, well, no, I'm not trying to have sex, but they keep trying to push the
right.
boundaries.
Because they're trying. Yep, they're trying you.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So I can definitely appreciate, So guys, if you're listening, if
be
you be honest. If you know that you want to get some from this girl, but you know that she's not giving out, then you let her know.
Right.
I mean, but if you can really stick it out and wait out with her, you really want to be with her because you're interested in her, then stick it out. Don't pressure her. Don't try to convince her. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Like, yo, I would have been.
At least the other guy was like, listen, everything else is great, but that one thing turned me off. I said, no.
I
And the
can't
other guy
take
was
you
no
out
problem.
in public because we not sleeping.
Right.
So every girl I see you walking with, you sleeping with.
So one of your gentlemen is watching on Facebook Live, Gary.
Hey, Gary.
And in response to your story about this guy who never heard of before,
Can I take you out in public because he ain't sleeping with you?
I gotta keep you locked up. So Gary says, he has rules too.
Oh.
What explain.
Yeah, please, Gary.
Gary, please explain because
they're about to kill me, Gary. Please, Gary, explain
what
yourself.
does that mean that you have rules too? I guess, and that's what I'm thinking. Maybe his boundaries. Yes, and guys, yes. Everybody should have some sort of boundaries, whatever, moral values, whatever, and that should be communicated in the very beginning.
Right.
Because I don't want anybody to come into a relationship with me not knowing that, hey, I'm not having sex,
Right.
That's up front.
Right.
I'm going to let you know.
Right.
I'm going to let you know what the deal is, and if you're not with it, then you can keep it moving.
Yeah, exactly.
But I'm still tripping off of the fact that I can't take you out in public. Because I would have been like...
Well, you've got to put his name out there. We need to contact him. We will find him. And just, really, I've never heard that before.
That's crazy because I would have been on the phone
And
like...
it hurt because he was gorgeous.
I probably would have hung up.
I think I would have hung up on him. I would have been like... Yeah, I would have been like, what?
It did hurt. It did hurt. And he was pressing. Like, he really thought he was going to get something. I mean... He would come over and I felt like I was in a jungle when I was being attacked. Like he was really trying hard. I was like, you know what, this is not
Girl,
good.
what you do to that man?
I think for men, it's the challenge. It's the challenge, and they
they go out to
they're
conquer.
competitive, and they're gonna win.
So he's been to the house. He's tried to hook up.
Right.
He's tried to do his thing.
And it just
You've just rejected every advance. And so he says to you, well, when we're going to go out to eat, when we go out in public, do
just walk down the street.
and he says no at that point because we're not doing anything. So I have to keep you up.
He was mad.
Of course.
He had been to your house before, right? Before he said this, right?
Right. So
he
he's
was
tried.
mad.
Right.
He was
tried.
upset. So that was coming straight out of anger.
That makes sense.
And now
it makes sense. Now it makes sense.
It makes sense.
I don't agree with
I don't
it.
agree with it.
But now, because
It
before
makes a lot more
you didn't give us
sense.
all that detail.
Yeah.
So now that it makes a difference. Not that he's right.
Right. He's not right.
so
He's
wrong.
He's so
still
wrong. He's very wrong. But still,
he's still wrong.
now it makes sense. Why?
Right.
I'm saying, why would he say that?
Right.
You guys just on the phone. He's like, no.
So you was a little bit of a tease to him.
I think that.
Yeah, I think that really that got him.
Yeah.
So
Not let them at your house, no.
Yeah,
And I've learned, like, you know what?
Yeah.
I can't serve you any dinner. It just doesn't work that way.
Yeah.
No, I'm talking real food.
Right, exactly.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Right.
Yeah.
So you brought him to the house. You fed him.
Oh,
Yeah.
don't do that.
Yeah.
I'm
You
not.
set that man up.
I didn't set him up. Set his stomach up.
Now we got the whole story.
You just set that man up. He think he gonna get some. We gonna put on some Luther after dinner.
I can't take you nowhere. Give me the lock and the key to your house. I'm locking you up till you.
Oh my
Wait,
gosh.
did Gary respond back?
Did he respond back?
Yeah. He said he just. Wow, he wrote quite a bit back. All right, so not saying I agree, but it's two ways. y'all should be happy these guys were straight up.
No.
No, and we
Tell
are.
them-
Okay.
Tell
okay.
them before you ever go out. That's his last comment.
No,
Yes,
no,
that's
we,
true.
We are, but I've noticed I've had 3 serious relationships, and it wasn't the first thing I told them, but they eventually found out, but they were content with it. You know, we were able to do other things, and they were okay with it. But some men, and it seems like it's the majority, are not okay with that, and that's fine. I just know that you're not fine.
Yeah. My goodness. It has been a great show, interesting,
Yes.
lively. I want to thank you all so much, ladies, for joining me here on the show to talk about the do's and the don'ts of dating online. I just want to leave you all with this real fast. Online dating, I support it. If it's something that you want to get into it, have fun with it. Like Tiffany was saying, she's on there just for the social aspect of it, to meet people, to just to have a social life, and that's okay. If you're serious looking, then I would suggest that you sign up with a site that's paid, because they're more secure. And I pray that you'll find what you're looking for. Because I know that a lot of people that go onto dating websites are usually older, and they are usually ready to get married, and that's why they go on there. Definitely do your research, as we said earlier.